Hello, welcome today to Conny Decorates Naturally with Heart. And who else is here? Michael the cameraman, exactly as always. And today we have very small gift ideas, simply made from jars and filled with a lot of nature, very spontaneous. We tried a few things like this frost effect, a little snow, and a bit of gold with food coloring, and simply small gifts. Now for the Christmas season, my dears, and if you want to know how these decoration ideas work, we will show you now. We want to start with our natural little gift ideas, and today I have these disposable jars. We had pea soup and chicken soup in one, and I believe there was sour meat in this one, and here was a dressing. Maybe there are also these milk bottles in a larger size, which I think is really great. Unfortunately, we don't have them, but I had collected them, and I believe that fits quite well today. Then we definitely need a bit of sugar today, which most of you have at home. I have obtained the coarse sea salt. Then I have an egg. I have an egg white. Then I have two brushes. I have chalk paint here, but you can also use wall paint. It doesn't really matter. Then I have a lot of natural things as well. I thought I would just bring everything into the dining room and see how we can decorate the jars. I also brought in an old decoration piece from our last decor that was left over, and I took a sedum from the kitchen decor, which we will also use today. Also found with the baked goods, we are using this for our cookies today. I think this gold powdered sugar is really beautiful. And here we have some little glitter stars that you can of course eat, but we won't just use them today for the cookies. We will set some aside and include them in the decoration. I will incorporate this and start here with this little disposable jar, let's just say. And I will take an egg white and apply a bit of egg white at the bottom where I want the effect. I will sprinkle some coarse salt on the plate, and I will just go around the jar on the plate so that the salt sticks to it. You don't need egg white. Maybe you have some glue, or you can also use hairspray, which is also no problem at all. So anything that is sticky is fantastic, and I think this is how you can do it. Now I take the jar and place it here to let it dry. I will do the same with my bottle. I want it to be a bit higher here, so I would like to achieve this frosty look. For the other jar, I want a snow look. And here I will also use my egg white and apply it. On this plate, I will put the sugar, and I will just go around the bottle. And look, it doesn't stick there, so I will add a bit more egg white and put the sugar on it. You can also use hairspray, glue, and so on. I will do this with salt sometime in January. It takes a few days longer, and I will show you how to achieve this frosty look. So in January, we will create a really nice frosty winter decoration. You can also do it this way. Maybe use some masking tape to stick stars on it beforehand. Roll it once, and then you will have beautiful ornaments or figures that you would like to have. If you later put a candle in it, it will be a lovely thing for a lantern. We will let the two dry for now, and we will take the large jar and finish it up. So what you can do is, I have a string of lights and I want to give it as a gift. Either you set it, usually it's in the middle to timer, which means it goes on at the same time every day, and after 6 hours, take it out again. So you could already place the battery compartment into the container here. If you don't find that too good, or if you prefer, you can also put the string lights in now and just set the battery compartment aside, wrap it a bit, and include it as a gift. I'm doing it this way now. I take a bit of moss, place it in, and put the battery compartment with the timer right on top. Just a bit of moss or whatever you have. And it's of course perfect that I can now come in here with my hand and place the battery compartment back in. Now I'm going to add a bit of moss, which I find quite nice because it's still super fresh and a bit greener. I'm just stuffing that on top here. I'm making very small pieces and will hide my battery compartment like this. Now you can start taking the string lights and simply twist them in here. That's really practical. It fits quite well into the jar. Now here are the orange slices. You can still see the battery compartment. I will just take 2 pieces. They can be shaped quite well, and I will place them back in here so that the battery compartment can be pressed down a bit more, so it won't be visible anymore. I also have a smaller orange slice, and I will press that in here as well. Now we practically have a group of 3, which looks nice when the light breaks through. This means we can wonderfully hide it here again. And I will also add a few more orange slices where there is no light and press those in as well. I think this orange looks really wonderful here. Then I have some small cones, and I will also place those in here as a small layer, an intermediate layer. I take my moss again and carefully and gently add another layer on top. And this is now optimal because I would like to incorporate my succulent on top right away. I now take the succulent and will add more moss on top here. This is optimal as it serves as a great moisture reservoir, and it is still nice and moist, which is perfect. Unfortunately, a leaf has come off here, but that's okay. I will now carefully dab the leaves with my egg white. Now, let's add our edible gold and make it really nice on top. Look how it absorbs. The gold really stands out beautifully. Now, a bit of the felt ribbon, and I actually find this quite nice because the glass is relatively tall. I will just cut off a piece, wrap it around, and secure it at the back with a small dab of hot glue. I think it's quite cute if we add a few orange slices on top as well. Let's see. Swish, swish. That holds wonderfully. Now I will add a few more, namely my green felt ribbon, and I will tie it around this screw cap or just under it. I will tie it a couple of times, secure it, cut it off, and make 2 small knots at the end. It turned out a bit short. I think I will just leave it like this, and that's perfectly fine. Now we have a really nice filling. We have our felt, our plant on top, and it can dry nicely now. I will just tear an orange slice and fix it on top as well, so it reflects again. I will just place it on the side, and I think the first glass is ready. I helped it dry a bit with a hairdryer because it wasn't dry, and now it's really dry. The moss needs to be nicely dried. The salt shouldn't be wet beforehand, or it will just dissolve. Now I will carefully go over it with my chalk paint and dab the color on top. If you have it, you can also use bird sand mixed with paint, which gives a nice natural snow effect. I find it beautiful to have completely made it colorful, so the natural snow effect is really something different, and I really like it. I will also try this with sand, but I will just set that aside for now and let it dry. This is our frosty bottle, and it is actually almost dry. I think it still needs a little more time, but that's not too bad. I will set it aside for now, and here I will first put some cinnamon sticks into the bottom of the bottle, and then place my bottle light here, my battery compartment right in there at the bottom. Now I will continue to fill the side with the cinnamon sticks. Of course, you can also use other things. You can use pine cones or moss, which is always optimal. But I think the brown contrast looks really nice and is nicely filled. The compartment is now right in the middle of the cinnamon sticks, and I will carefully add a layer of moss on top and press it down a bit with my scissors. I will also add some small anise stars, and I will attach them to our light string. I will do this in small pieces. Here I also have a larger one, and I will stick it in at the top as the last layer of light. Now I have some felt tape, this time in brown, and I will wrap it around the neck of the bottle and tie it securely. I will put a little dab on the star and attach it to the felt tape at the front. I only have large ones. I actually have small ones too, but I think you can use them for Christmas. Now I will also make some small knots at the end. We have also finished the second glass for gifting, giving it a frosty look. The back is already drying wonderfully. I could have maybe used a little less egg white, but it's perfect as it dries. So learning by doing, it's not too bad. And now we have our snow glass, and it's not completely dry yet. It's still drying a bit, but I will go ahead and just lay the layer of moss on it now. I will now take an alpine violet, remove it from the pot, dress it a bit with moss, and stick it in here. I still have these wonderful mossy branches, and I'm just going to stick them in the background here a little bit so that we have a bit more. I want to achieve a natural height, and I think 3 pieces are absolutely optimal. A bit of neck glue, and I found a cone here that I will stick in between and simply glue it to the branches. Now I have a string light chain, and instead of using felt tape, I thought I would just wrap it around a few times. And our little gifts are ready. Do you like them? I also think it's great to just fill it up a bit with lots of nature, using all the leftovers we had, like all the Christmas decorations, and yes, a bit of orange, white and brown, and of course a lot of heart, my dears. We really hope that we could inspire or excite you today. We would be happy to see a thumbs up from you, dear ones. And if you are still looking for string lights or any specific items, you can find the link to our website in the video description below, and there to Hof Oelkers. And at Hof Oelkers there is still a 10% discount until the end of the year. And that is really fantastic. So dear ones, we look forward to decorating again with and for you in the coming days. Small gift ideas, table decorations, we don't know exactly yet, but yes, it continues. Until then, goodbye. Subtitles of